streaming out live. We're live. I don't know about right now. That's what he was doing, eh? Last I spoke to him. But he get through college, though.
Yeah, that's respect, man. Mondo respect.
Who's Mondo?
Mondo.
Is Mondo your new business partner that I don't know about?
Mondo.
All right, everybody, welcome. You're here to answer, or you're here to ask us mortgage questions, real estate questions, market questions. The Fed speaks today. Ask us questions about that. What are rates? What are rates anticipated to do? When are they going to come down? When's the best time to buy? We'll answer you guys. All you guys got to do is fill up that chat box. Make sure you put a bunch of questions in there. We're going to get to every single one of them. And if you're already ready to start your real estate journey and get pre-qualified to purchase a house, just go to the link in the bio, click on apply for a home loan now, and get the process started. You guys know that if you want to talk to us, screenshot this, because after we're off this live, we can talk, we can text, we can chat, we can figure out what's the best path for you to be on. What do you got for us, Mr. Duran, man?
Well, we know because the notes came out. I didn't actually see the speech yet, but the Fed held the rates. We knew they were going to.
Any surprise?
Yeah, we knew they were going to. That wasn't really a surprise. We knew they were going to hold the rates. The question is, what's the tone of the Fed when he speaks? Because the tone will influence the market. I know that floating has been a bad move in the last 30 days. If you're a loan officer and you floated, rates went up. Click, 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 very slowly, but it went up. It was like, reminds me of when I'm on the treadmill and I'm running and I'm like, okay, this is a good speed. Let's do it a little bit higher. And you're like, okay, it's not so bad. A little bit higher. And after a while, you're like, okay, this is starting to get to be a lot. Same thing's going on with the rates. So the rates have gone click, 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 click. Well, if you guys have seen the Fed speak, or if you're watching him right now and you understand this stuff, please chime in. We'd like to know. We know they held the rates. What's going on there?
It's not moving. It's fine.
It'll fix itself. It'll fix itself.
Probably Wi-Fi. All right, guys, fill up the chat box. What questions do you have about buying houses? Do you want to know about programs, interest rates, down payment? What credit score do you need? How long after bankruptcy? How long after foreclosure? First-time home buyer? Is there down payment assistance programs? There's so many questions to be answered. We just need you guys to ask them. Fill up the chat box. We are going to get to every single one of your questions. We are going to call you out. We're going to answer them. So please hang in there, because that chat box fills up. And sometimes, you guys are in and out. So hang in there
medical
so we can answer the questions for you, okay?
Angel says, what medical school did you go to?
Very confused.
Medical school. I think she's seen our signature. And she's like, you must be doctors. There's no way you can do numbers for a living, because with that signature, that's downright scary.
Maybe.
How much you have to make to qualify for $450,000?
Eureka.
Probably right about 90K. 90K starts you in that range. There's a few things that will influence that, Shonda. The things that will influence is, where are you buying? What city and state? What are the property taxes? Are you looking at a new build? If you're looking at a new build, you need to make a lot more. The reason is because new builds add a whole bunch of costs in there that are kind of hidden. If you know what you're looking for, you can find them pretty easily. But if you don't know where they're at.
Jesse Ruiz. No, Whoville Hater back in the house.
Whoville Hater.
Is there different rates for multifamily if you don't or do live there? So you're talking about buying an investment property or a primary residence. That's what you're talking about, Whoville Hater.
Huge difference. Not small difference. Huge difference. Huge. Here's why. Huge. It's going to be huge. So if you're buying a primary residence, you get your regular conventional conforming Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, FHA, VA, USDA rates. You get those regular rates based off your credit score and all that good stuff. And those are pretty favorable, even though it's an ugly interest rate environment. Those are the most favorable in the environment. However, if you don't live there, it is an investment property. And because it's an investment property, one, you're going to need to put 20% down. And the rates are going to be way worse. Way worse. Not a little worse. Way worse.
But still doable. Jesse Ruiz, I'm under contract. I'm buying a house, but it's going through foreclosure. What's next?
Wow, you take that, because there's a lot inside that.
No, I don't think so. So he's buying a house that's currently being foreclosed on.
You didn't put yours on D&D, huh?
No, it is.
No, it is?
Yeah, see, look.
Okay. How does that get through then?
So he's buying a house, and the house is going through foreclosure. So the seller is dealing with the drama. So what's going to happen is that when your bank, the loan, is going to request a demand for payoff, okay? It's because you got to pay off that loan. Now, when that bank gets paid off, the bank foreclosure process on the seller side, they might have some drama. But for the most part, that loan's going to get paid off. Everything's going to get made whole, and it's going to be fine. So you shouldn't have many hiccups. The bank and the seller is going to have some hiccups. So I don't think you're going to close on time.
I really hope you have a good realtor, and there's a good realtor for the seller, because there's a lot of things that you have to navigate through that process.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. In that 30-day window, 45-day window, there's going to be hiccups. So closing on time, I wouldn't count on it. But Jesse Ruiz, as long as you're not at the 6-month mark-ish point, if you're in like somewhere between 3 and 5, you should be fine. So I don't think you're going to have a concern at all.
Make sure your loan officer really knows what they're doing too, because that's going to be a very sticky situation, because the minute that stuff shows up on title, there's going to be all kinds of things you have to clear. So there's a lot of sticky things going there.
Yeah. BRCO 709. My husband and I currently have an FHA, but want another property. Hard it to get a conventional. How hard is it to get the conventional?
If you currently have an FHA and you made your mortgage payments on time and you make a good income and your FICO score is good. I got it. It's just coming to me. No. And your FICO score is good. It's not hard to get a conventional. It's very easy. It's just a matter of, are you credit worthy, and are you moving out of that FHA as your primary, going to the next house as your primary? If you are, that's a certain set of guidelines. If you're trying to buy an investment property conventional, that's a different set of guidelines. Or if you want a second home, like you live here and you travel to here often and you need a second home there, that's still another set of guidelines. But if your FICO's good, you made your mortgage payments on time, and you make the income, not that hard.
Yeah, and the question is, that new property you want, is that your primary? So what he's asking right now, is that your primary? Is that an investment property? Do you plan an Airbnb in it? Like, what's the answer for that one? But here's another hack for you guys.
Hack.
I'll give you a hack, okay? Because conventional can be hard to get approved if you're in the, like, under 650s. Okay? It can be very difficult. If you're moving 100 miles or more from where you currently live, like let's just say that you guys are moving out of state. You live in California, but now you're moving to Texas because it's a better environment, blah, blah, blah. Whatever your reasoning is. You can possibly use FHA again. Use that, get in with 3.5%. But there's a 100-mile rule in there. You can't stay within 100 miles because that's clearly a ploy to try to buy investment properties for very low down and easy qualification. Must be your primary residence. So it's a little hack for you. If you have questions, reach out. Fire, or is those ducks? How much money should I have saved for down payment, etc., for a house that is $300,000?
That's a very loaded question, because down payment is going to be about $10,500, but etc. is going to be another $10,000. But that can be paid for by somebody else. It can be paid for by the seller, by the realtor, by the lender, by your uncle, by whomever you want to, your boss. I've seen a boss step in and go, I want you to come work for me, and if that's what it takes, I'll pay your closing costs.
Yep.
I've seen that happen. So the down payment has to be paid for by the borrower. So that's you, which, how much should I have saved? $10,500, but you do have to deal with closing costs. Hi from Illinois. Michael John Camp says, hi from Illinois. We love Illinois. Went to Chi-Town not that long ago. Oh my God, you guys get cold. I went there during the cold time, and I went right on the waterfront. Shit, that's cold.
Dude, I went there in the summer. It was humid.
We got both extremes there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So you want to do a loan in Illinois? We can. We're licensed in all 50 states.
How many?
50.
All of them.
50 nifty. Eve Lynn. What about buying a house with IHSS income?
Yeah, Eve Lynn. Yes, you can.
Good
However,
news.
there are rules on this, and the rules are pretty straightforward. How long have you been doing it? If you just started today, and that's your job, and your IHSS, which is a job, in-house support service, is a job. And if you've only been doing it for 1 month, well then, I don't have 2-year work history. I still need a 2-year work history. But if you've been doing it for 2 years, or you're taking care of your mom or your brother or your uncle, whoever you're taking care of, if you've been doing it for 2 years and that's your job and we can prove it, yes, all day long, all day, every day.
Eli said, "Hey guys, what's up, Eli? Martin
What's up,
Ramirez.
Eli?
How's it going? Question mark. I'm planning to build 2 rentals on an owned property. Should I start an LLC?"
Martin, that's a whole conversation that is not in the mortgage business world. Here's why. Because if you're going to build 2 rentals, not buy them, then you need what's called a construction loan if you need a loan. Maybe you got cash. I don't know. Maybe. But if you're going to build them, you need a construction loan. And if they're 2 rentals, you're going to need a specific type of construction loan. Then the question is, should I build an LLC? That is a whole different vertical. That is, how are your private finances set up? What's the method of financing? All that good stuff. So I don't think we are well qualified to answer that. Now, if you were trying to buy 2 already established units as investment property, you're right in our wheelhouse. We can help you with that.
Yeah. Survivor, should I pay cash for a house or save that money and use the VA loan?
Survivor, if you can pay cash, you are in a very unique situation because you got 500 G's in the bank because that house costs 500 G's and you can just write a check and boom, you're good to go. Okay, so that's a good situation. I will tell you that the VA loan is probably the best loan in the system. It is. You must qualify. There's only one downside to a VA loan, but it's probably the best loan in the system. And the reason is because every other loan has some version of mortgage insurance. Every loan has some version. Yes, USDA. I know what you're about to say. Yes, USDA has a version of mortgage insurance. Yes, conventional has it. Yes, FHA has it. Yes, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. All of them have it except for the VA because the VA actually covers up to 25% of the loan in the event of default. So that's the power of it. Now, there is one downside to a VA loan. The VA loan downside is something called a VA funding fee, and that can be up to 3.3%. So that's the highest it is. But if you bought a $500,000 house, that's roughly $18,000. That's a lot of money. It's not a little bit of money. That's a lot of money that you have to pay extra unless you're service connected at 10% or greater. Now, if you've got the ability to write the check, you don't have to worry about all this stuff. You just write the check. But the question is, should you keep it in your account or should you use the VA loan? And to that, I would say, okay, it depends on what your earning ability is, earning status. Because if you're retired and you don't have any income, then write-offs aren't going to do you any good. So all of your interest on a mortgage is 100% write-off. And if you're in your prime earning years and you're earning a lot of money, you need write-offs. They've got 2 big write-offs in our system. A lot of little ones, but 2 big ones. The 2 big ones are children, and they cost you way more than it is, and mortgage. Those are the 2 big ones. So if you're in prime earning years and you're earning a lot of money, if it were me, I'd rather have the loan and the money in the bank.
Boom. Yeah. And it depends on how much money do you have. Is it only to buy the house, or are you going to have a couple mil still stashed away? Frobbles 315 question: how does eviction interfere with purchasing a home? Ooh, this is both political and a little controversial.
Oh, you go.
A little controversial.
Piss some people off.
But absolutely political.
You're going to piss some people off.
If you're buying in California,
piss them off.
You may be effed. You may be straight up
Damn,
effed.
You did that?
Well, have you ever done a loan where the seller didn't move out?
Damn.
I have.
Have you?
I have. And the buyer had to jump through hoops to get that person out because squatters' rights in California, they have more rights than the owners in some cases. Literally, there are people that get arrested and have restraining orders against them from their own property that they pay the taxes on, and the squatter gets to have that right. But if you're in a state like Florida, they don't play that.
Florida, kick your ass out.
Homie, don't play that in Florida.
Florida, kick your ass out tomorrow. No, today.
Right now.
Today.
Drag you out.
Yep, today with the sheriff.
And use forces.
And let you put it on TikTok and YouTube and Instagram and Facebook. They'll let you put it everywhere. That's actually becoming a new thing where they're videotaping the eviction of squatters, which I find a strange happiness in. I don't know why.
And then DeSantis is like, good job.
Yeah, you know what? You get a raise.
So, Fraubles, good luck with that.
Yeah.
I hope you're in a state that supports you. Michael John Camp, is it good to look into foreclosure houses?
Maybe, Michael, but foreclosure houses are going to basically be market houses. They're going to hit the market because if the bank is foreclosing on them, here's the problem. If somebody actually understands the game and they go into foreclosure, they can keep throwing monkey wrenches at the system so that you never know what's going to close. That's the problem with the foreclosure process. Because you're like, hey, I'm about to foreclose. Hey, right before you foreclose, I'm going to ask the judge for a little bit more time so I can get this worked out. Judge is going to say, okay, hey, we'll give you another 60 days. All right, cool. Then like, hey, I think I got this worked out. It has to go in front of a judge, 60 more days. It's a big process. So if you're looking at foreclosed homes, when they're in the foreclosure process, there's a monkey wrench in all of it because there's the X factor. The other side is you got a foreclosed home. It's now an owned home. It's just owned by the bank. The bank has a realtor. The realtor's going to find out fair market value. They're going to say, hey, sell this thing. The only thing you don't deal with on a foreclosed home is emotions, but you do deal with the real market because it's really a market.
Yeah, Taco Dom in the house. What's up, brother?
What's up, Taco Dom?
Can you explain why it's important to apply for homestead?
Oh, okay. So, also don't forget that platform over there.
Oh, yeah.
So, homestead. I have a house in Texas, and I was like, all right, what is this homestead thing? What is this homestead thing? So it's different in different states. In Florida, it's really powerful. In Texas, it is somewhat powerful. So let's just say I have a property tax value. Let's just pull a number out of the sky, $700,000, okay? $700,000. And they say, hey, guess what? You got to pay property taxes on $700,000. If I say, hey, well, this is my primary residence, and this is where I live, and this is where I park my car, and I go to work from, this is my house. They say, okay, cool. In that case, you can homestead. And I think, don't quote me on this exact amount, but I think I got a $116,000 tax exemption. So instead of paying property taxes on $700,000, I pay property taxes on $580,000 or something like that. Now, these are just numbers I'm picking out of the sky. They're not my actual numbers. But the homestead allows an exemption for property taxes and a bit of a protection when it comes to foreclosure. But that's a little up in the air. So there's that.
There you go. Eli, how much do I need for a second home in Florida? Good state to be buying in, man, based on what we just said. Yeah. So second home.
10% down.
Not an investment property.
No.
Not your primary.
Not.
Means it has a little more risk than a primary and a little less risk than an investment property. And he is correct. You need a minimum of 10% down. There's only really two entities that you can go with traditional financing. That's Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac.
Mm-hmm. And you will need reserves. That's the one thing that catches everybody. So reserves are, if you're buying a second home, reserves are, can I make the home payment on my primary residence? Let's just say it's $3,000. All right. And my second home is $3,000 also. All right. So I need $6,000 for monthly payment. All right, cool. So 1 month reserve is $6,000. Well, if you're buying a second home, the minimum you'll need is 6 months. So 6 times 6, you'll need $36,000 in the bank somewhere. It can be in an investment account, IRA, 401k, 403b, TSA, 457, anything that you have. It can be in those accounts, but those accounts count at 75%, not 100%. It can be in cash. That counts at 100%. Now, if your FICO score is not great, then they might want 12 months reserves. 12 months reserves is obviously $72,000. And if you happen to have that in an IRA, 401k, KEO, 457, TSA, whatever you have, then you're good to go. But those are the two big factors.
BRCO 709 is back. Does making my current property a rental, does it help? And the answer is maybe. Maybe. This is actually a very popular strategy. You can sometimes use it FHA, but the most successful way that people are using this is conventional. So what you're going to do is get a renter, lock them into contract, get a deposit. Okay? You don't have to cash the check. You just have to get the check with the deposit in it. Okay? Once you have that, then when we qualify you, we literally erase your current mortgage payment and then qualify you as if you don't own a home. Now going into this, see, you can get in, hold on.
dude, that's mine too. I'm on
iPhone
D&D.
is for children, man.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, we get. Yeah.
So
Anyway,
the conventional loan, you get in with 5% down. That's the easiest, cleanest way to do it. Like I said, sometimes FHA will work, but BRCO 709, you can get rid of that mortgage payment by getting a renter, buy a new home with a minimum of 5% conventional.
check that platform.
Taco Dom, man. That's
Taco
my
Dom.
brother.
Taco Dom. A lot of stuff going on, man. A lot of stuff going on. We're trying to answer all of your questions. We are on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Answering your questions on how to get a house in 2024.
Got a lot of questions, guys, so hang in there. We'll get to every single one.
We're going to get
of them.
every question out there.
Will wife still be considered a first-time home buyer if she was a non-borrowing spouse on my FHA loan?
You answer that. That's a good question.
Great question.
Great question.
Yes, she will be a first-time home buyer. But Taco Dom, you know this already. You've been watching us for years.
Years.
You know this. There's only 2 programs that are first-time home buyer. Only 2.
Only
and
2.
There's only a 0.5% difference
Yeah.
between that and FHA. And to go with that first-time home buyer program, you need a stronger FICO score. And if you don't have a strong FICO score and you happen to get approved, your MI is going to be through the roof. So, yes, will that be the best route? I don't know. We'll make the determination. We'll show you both, and you choose what's best for you and your family.
Ghostman 4901 says, how about if you just squat in a den run area? Free homes. Hey, Ghostman.
Kind of true.
You're not wrong. You are not wrong. I do not like that way of doing things. But you are not wrong. That's a horrible situation. And one of my houses in California, and I have to deal with that all the time. Do not like it.
Yeah. Marsa 458. How about 757 FICO 3.0 score?
Somebody is doing some homework here. 757 FICO. Well, we don't use FICO 3. We use FICO
5.
FICO 5.
Yeah.
So, Marcia, we have to put your credit. No matter what, we have to put your credit.
But
a lot of people like it.
If it's real?
If that's real and FICO 5, you're gold.
Yep. Whoville Hater, what's up, man? I want to buy a motel that they are turning into apartments. Can I live in one and rent out the other?
If it is if it's a 4-unit
motel?
If it's a 4-unit motel,
It's a little motel.
And deemed a SFR zoned RER1 or RER13, then maybe
Yeah, it's a good thought though.
Yeah, it's a good thought. Yeah.
Survivor, what about the VA loan?
We love the VA loan. I love the VA loan. We're really good at the VA loan. Do a lot of VA loans. Have been doing VA loans for years.
Literally.
Yeah.
Tony Bows, what's up? How you been?
What's up, Tony Bows? Great to see you.
TJ651, would you guys say investing in real estate is still a good investment?
TJ651, if you have a worldly position, meaning that you're not trying to make money this year, that you can last 10 years, yeah, it's probably one of the best. Mm-hmm. If you're trying to make it this year, probably not. If you're trying to make like, hey, I want to get in and out, that's like the guy who wants to day trade. All my life, I was a stockbroker in 1992, started in stocks. And all my life, I've seen these guys who come in and go like, hey, I found the secret to wealth, day trading. I'm like, cool. And in an ascending market, even a dumb idiot can make money day trading. But as soon as it becomes flat or down, those day traders, you really got to know your stuff, and they're all gone. They all disappear. Same thing in real estate. If you're willing to play the long haul, and you're not just looking to get in and out, day trade with real estate, or 3 months, 6 months, fix and flip. There's a million versions. Section 8, rehab, buy dilapidated properties, fix them up. There's all of these versions. And in an ascending market, everybody makes money. In a flat market, the good ones make money. In a down market, most of them go away. So is it a good place to invest? Hell yeah. Real estate's probably the best. Probably the dollar over dollar ROI net investment, the best.
Yeah. Whoville Hater, what happens if you can't move into a multifamily after you close? So what would be stopping you from moving in?
Yeah.
But there is a window of opportunity. I think it's somewhere between 60 and 90 days. I can check for you if you really want to know that. Yeah. So when you buy a house, you don't have to move in that day. You don't have to move in that day. But they do say you have to move in within this period of time if you're buying a primary residence. So Whoville Hater, if you're going that route, let us know and we'll figure it out for you.
Mad Mother Trucker.
Yeah.
So I put the in the end because it
says
Mad Mother Trucker. Follow the I dig it. I dig your name, man. I dig your name.
6275 Snyder with an 800 credit score. What is the best interest rate I would get?
So it's going to change because the Fed just spoke and they might have already adjusted. So we're pulling them up right now. Pulling up right now. Nope, they haven't changed. So 15-year, 6%. 15 years, 6%. Don't believe me? Go to the links at the top of our profile. Go to Cool Stuff, today's interest rates. You'll see 6%.
Got a lot of questions, guys.
Yeah,
Hang in there.
we're working on it.
All of them.
Are we missing anything? We got them all.
Take a look, man. Irving Lopez, 1795. Hey, y'all. Looking to start investing in homes. Got a house gifted to me 3 months ago. Worth about $500K. Own it outright. Dang. Someone loves you.
Oh, you got an Irving. You better talk with a CPA and maybe even attorney, because if you truly got a $500,000 gift, IRS wants your money. And they won't just like show up at your door one day. No. About 2-3 years from now, you're going to find out, holy shit, what do you mean? I owe a gift tax. What? Yeah, it's a big one. So make sure you got that cleaned up before you start spending the money that you may not have. But very astute. I'm
Gavin
impressed.
Newsom. If you're in California, Gavin Newsom wants a piece.
Hey, you want a piece, man?
Oh, he needs to fill up that jet.
Yeah.
Bark Fuse. Do you guys tip your landlord?
All right.
Hat tip.
You're like, hey, what's up?
Can I get an equity loan being 1099 employee? 1099 employee for the last 2 years. This is Irving again.
Okay. You take that.
Yeah. I mean, first check what he said.
HELOC.
Figure out what those taxes are going to be, because if you are going to take an equity line, you might need to take a little more to pay some bills. But the answer is yes. 1099 employee showing a 2-year history, as long as you're claiming enough income, guys. You self-employed are notorious for making a big top line and a tiny bottom line, which I understand. I'm not shooting at it.
Hitting us with the trust me, bro, I make money. Trust me, bro.
So,
trust me.
You know, we don't go off the top line. We go off that bottom line after you wrote off your vehicles and advertising, marketing, employees, expenses. That bottom line is what you told the IRS you took home, and that's the number we have to follow.
But here's a little hack. We can add back in some deductions. There's a few deductions we can add back in. Most notably, we can add back in depletion and depreciation. So you can think about that when you're filing your taxes and go, hey, listen, I just got a house. I'm going to depreciate that over X number of years. Take that depreciation. I get to pay less in taxes, but I get to add it back in when it comes to income. What? Yep.
Jimmy, Geraldine, Honey72, thank you for the love. Time for commercial.
If you need a badass loan, call a badass loan officer. You can reach your badass loan officers, Chris and Lee, at New American Funding by calling the numbers on the screen. You better screenshot it because it's going to disappear. By the way, don't call us right now because we're live and we will not answer. Disappearing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye.
iPhone or Android, what do you guys choose? Irving, no other loans on my name. Credit score 720, no debt. Steven, hey guys, question. I'm interested in buying my first house, but I travel for work. How do I go about?
Steven, you're my favorite kind of loan. I deal with traveling nurse. I did a traveling nurse couple. And they like legitimately, their life was fascinating. They go, one day we're in the Hicks, the next day we're in a 5-star hotel, but they send us all over. We have to go for 6 months. We have to commit for 2 years. That was their contract. And we want to have a house here. And I said, okay, cool. Give me the reasons. Well, because our family's here and that's it. Okay, wrote a letter of explanation to the underwriter. Said, hey, Mr. Underwriter, they want to have a house here. When they go travel here, their travel company puts them up in the hotel or whatever it is, but they still make their income. And the underwriter said, yep, I know that lifestyle. Cool, give them a house. Done.
Yeah, Irvin's in Tejano, man. He's from Texas.
From Texas.
And with that, FICO, you're golden.
Yeah, you're golden,
dude. Money, man.
Yeah,
no problem.
You're golden.
Athena, underwriter here. We got an underwriter here, guys.
All right, we appreciate
I agree 100% with what these guys are saying. Loan officers apply as soon as possible.
We like you, Athena. We appreciate you showing up over and over and over again. By the way, all the people in the industry, we love you. Other loan officers, come on down. Talk to us. Talk to our clients even. Yeah, here's the way I look at it is this way. Hey, these guys are tuning in to see our show. If they don't believe we know what we're talking about, they'll go with you. But if they do believe they know, take your best shot, man. Take your best shot. I'm good with that. But all underwriters, loan officers, processors, realtors, we appreciate you guys on the feed. Talk to us. Give us the questions.
Survivor, thank you. This was so helpful. You're very welcome.
You're a survivor, no doubt. One thing for sure, you're a survivor.
User 069, what the write-off for a new car looking like?
write-off. User 069.
I'm confused.
Yeah, he's thinking that you can
I'm a tax
depreciate a
expert?
car and stuff like that. I think that's coming from the depreciation. But that's a whole different game. Probably not. Yeah. That's
Zuli Mina, first-time buyer. What do you recommend for first-time buyers?
All right, Zoli. Here's what you need to know. First, I'm going to give you a crash course. You ready for a crash course, Zoli? Because this is a crash course. You better get your pencil. Make sure it's sharp. Get a backup pencil in case that one breaks while you're writing, because you're going to need this information. It's very good information. Okay, here's what it is. First, FHA is probably your best loan. FHA, because you can get in with 3.5% down, and it's a more liberal loan. What do I mean by more liberal? It lets you buy more house with your money. So that's FHA. You're going to hear about conventional. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are both under the category of conventional. And you're going to hear that you can't do 3% down, and that's going to be true. And those programs are called Home Ready and Home Possible. Those programs will let you do 3% down. However, if your FICO score is below probably 750, you're not going to want to go with those programs because the mortgage insurance gets very expensive at 3% down. You're way better off with 5% down. But when you go 5% down, on a conventional, you still need to buy MI, and if your mortgage insurance isn't that great, you are way better off with FHA like I started the conversation with. So you're probably going to go FHA. You're probably going to need 3.5% down in order to get in. Oh, what are closing costs? Closing costs are going to be your property taxes, your insurance, paying the notary, paying everybody that needs to be paid. How much are those going to be? You can round it at 10 grand. At lower prices, you can probably get away with 8. Sometimes it goes up to 11, but somewhere in that range. But I don't have 10 grand saved up for closing costs. Hey, the good news is the seller can pay it. If you've got a good realtor, you can negotiate so the seller pays it. The realtor can pay it. The lender can pay it. Your uncle can pay it. Anybody can pay closing costs, but on an FHA loan, the borrower must put the down payment in. Next question is, should I have a good realtor? Yes. When should I get qualified? Right now. Hope I answered all your questions. Hope you didn't burn through both pencils.
Dude, you give her
That's
data.
a lot.
You give her so much data.
That was a lot.
Big Mike Triff. How much money in the bank to buy a home? Does it matter?
Big Mike Triff, at least 3.5% down, preferably more. Preferably more.
And if you're under a 620 going FHA, you probably want to stack a couple of mortgage payments for reserves. Because they want to see that extra money there. Times are getting tough.
Yeah.
Steven, is USDA loans based on just 40-hour week, or is overtime and mileage and per diem go over?
Steven, that's going to be based off of whether or not your overtime is consistent and you've been having it for 40 hours and it's ascending. Because if you just got it 1 month, we're not going to count it. It's a 24-month average. 24-month average. Per diem is a real sticky situation because it's gauged on a case-by-case basis. A lot of times we can't use per diem, but there are instances where we can. Overtime, we can almost always use it if we got a 24-month average.
Yeah. Eli, I live in New Jersey, but I'm looking for a second home in Florida. A lot of low testosterone people.
Yeah, vulgar.
Eli, I live in New Jersey, but I'm looking for a second home in Florida. Let's do it, Eli.
Yeah, Florida.
Stop looking. Let's do it.
I love Florida. I love DeSantis. The things he's doing right now, it's amazing the stuff he's doing in Florida. And I think the fact that DeSantis didn't move forward to become a presidential nominee was a unbelievably big win for the state of Florida, because I think he's doing a good job at running Florida. I think he did a horrible job trying to get the top job, but running Florida, a great job.
And actually, I just got news this morning that Florida's pricing is starting to ease up. So the price of houses is starting to ease up. Actually, a few different places across the country, it's starting to ease up. Florida and Texas being the top two. So,
really?
Yeah, maybe a good opportunity in Florida to hop on those values.
Lila J, do you help with down payment assistance in Michigan? Yes. There are programs in every state. Then it goes down to the county and sometimes even the city. There's different types of down payment assistance programs, but all of them ride on an FHA loan, Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac. So first we qualify you for an FHA loan, and then we find out which programs you qualify for, and we plug those programs on top of FHA, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and sometimes VA. They do qualify for VA.
Yeah. Eli, how much do I need for down payment and closing costs?
Eli, 3.5% of FHA loan is the down payment, 3.5%. Closing costs are going to be like a wide range depending on where you're at. And I'll go probably 6 to 12 G's, somewhere in that range. That usually covers everything, low end and high end.
Yeah. A-Rod, I think that was Puge Rodriguez for a second.
Okay.
I don't know who that is.
I don't know either. Puge Rodriguez. All right, cool.
A-Rod, you did good in baseball for a little bit.
You did for a little bit. Not no more.
Thank you,
more.
Creative Chaos, for
Did
the
he
love.
marry Madonna?
I don't know.
Okay.
I haven't talked to him in a long time. Simply Erica, how much should I have to buy my first home?
What's your name? Simply Erica.
Simply
Erica. No, I'm not complicated, Erica.
Eddie.
No. You don't want complicated,
Not
Erica.
drama, Erica.
You don't want drama, Erica. Who do you want?
Simply Erica.
Simply Erica. That's it. How much do I save for my first home? So Simply Erica, if you went with a standard FHA, you would need 3.5% down. But this can happen if you've got a if you got a great FICO score, not perfect. If you got a great FICO score, I've been able to get people into a house with 1 month reserve. Whoa, what is 1 month reserve? So let's just say I'm buying a $350,000 house. The mortgage payment is $3,000, and all I have in my bank is $3,000. But I make good income and I have great credit. So I qualify you for FHA, and then I plug in a down payment assistance program on top of that. So the down payment assistance program actually covers the down payment. Then I get the realtor and the seller to negotiate in closing costs. So the seller covers the closing costs. So now the down payment assistance covers the down payment. The seller's covering the closing costs. And the only thing DU wants is 1 month reserve. But that only happens if you've got a really, really good credit score. Because if you don't have a good credit score, there's going to be problems.
Yep. Eli, you're welcome, my man. George Washington's watching us. The first president ever.
Uh-huh.
You went to school with him.
George Washington.
How do I go about using an FHA for a quad without living in it?
So here's what you do, George. You take that idea, you put it on a piece of paper. You say, I want to get an FHA loan for a quad without living in it. I want you to put it in big black ink. Then grab that piece of paper, crumple it up. Oh, he wants to light it on fire. I was just saying crumple it up and throw it in the trash. He says light it on fire. Either way, that idea is not going to happen. FHA is only for primary residence. That's it. FHA is not designed to help you build your real estate portfolio. It's designed to help you get into your primary residence. That's it.
Boom. Anna, I want to apply for a mortgage. Where do I start? I don't know what I qualify for.
Anna, first go to realestatewrap.com.
That's what I thought of.
Listen to the rap. Realestatewrap.com. Anna, I don't know if you're real because there's no profile picture there, but if you go to realestatewrap.com, all your questions get answered inside of a rap. Boom, like that. Or you can call us and we will help you. Or you can go to the links at the top of our bio and start the application like right now. When we get done with the lives, I literally get down and we're like, okay, cool. We got 7 applications while we were live. Happens all the time.
Yeah, DJ Skilla, how much in PMI on 10% down on a $350,000 home?
DJ Skilla. The only thing that will factor in, the only thing is your FICO score. If your FICO score is great, like great, 780, 800, 810, MI is going to be tiny. If your FICO score is 620 to 750, could be very expensive.
I know we do business in all 50 states, but DJ Triple wants to know, does your company work in New Jersey?
New Jersey, New York, New Hampshire. What other news do we have?
Mexico.
New Mexico. What else?
I don't know.
New Brunswick?
No.
That's not a state.
But yes,
yeah.
absolutely, Joyzy.
Yeah.
DJ Skilla back. Oh, we already answered that one.
Yep.
Crystal K.
What's
What
up,
state
Crystal
do you
K?
have people in?
We help all 50 states. How many?
50.
50. How many of them?
Do you do Hawaii?
All of them.
Alaska?
All of them.
Florida?
What? Yes.
City of Compton.
That's California, but yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Devin Canterbury. Want to sell my current home? Will job hopping hurt me? My wife has been at the same job for 7 years.
Devin. Here, you got to take this down because this is important.
Does he need 3 pencils?
If you're job hopping, and you're doing it because you're getting a better situation, no problem. If you're doing it and you took a reduction in pay, that could be a problem. The reason is because the underwriter says, okay, in your natural trajectory of life, you want to go up, 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 up. Now, if you go up, 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 oh, I went down. I went from $40 an hour to $37 an hour. The underwriter's going to go, all right, what seems to be the malfunction? Because this is not how things usually work. I did have a file like this where the guy was job hopping. And he went boom, 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 and then boom. And I'm like, why? And he said, Lee, that other job was paying me a lot, but I had to drive 50 miles to get there every day, and it became too much. So I took a job closer to home for less pay. And I sent that to the underwriter, and the underwriter was like, all right, we'll take that. So if your income is constantly going up and you're moving for a better situation, job hopping is not a problem. It's not a problem. It is going to be something that we have to explain, but not a problem.
You know what really helps in those scenarios?
Tell me.
An awesome vehicle that's comfortable or fast or convertible.
AW says, hi, gentlemen. I'm addicted to your show. AW, tell you what, next time you show up, I want you to go like this. All right. Right here, right in the vein. Let's do it. Come on, let's do it. Let's get our Chris and Lee fix.
Or you can just tune in at 11:30.
We appreciate you, AW. Thank you very much.
DJ Triple, do you guys work? Yeah, we do work in Jersey. We already answered that one. Answered that one. Rob, VA loan here. Rent my townhome to pay mortgage fully and use VA for second home loan? Question mark.
VA. Okay, so now, Rob, I'm gonna have to help you with some nomenclature. Or definitions, let's do it that way. Definitions. So, if it's the second home you've ever bought and you didn't use your VA loan, then technically it's your primary residence, even though it's also technically your second home. But if it's technically your primary residence and you're going to live in there and you haven't used your VA loan before, then yes, you can use your VA loan. Yeah, pretty simple. Yeah. If you have an FHA on there, there's a little bit of an issue, a little bit of a question because they're both government loans and they do talk to each other in a strange way. However, if you already have a primary residence and you are truly buying a second home because you love Aspen and you go to Aspen often and you want to use your VA loan for your not primary but second home, big fat no. No can do. VA is designed to give you a primary residence. So is FHA. Primary residence, not to build your investment portfolio.
Yeah. Bird Dog, thank you for the love.
Appreciate you, Bird Dog. Appreciate
Rue
you.
Almighty. Just closed on our house yesterday. Congratulations.
Rue Almighty.
Anything you tell me being a first-time homeowner?
Okay, Rue Almighty, yes. Few things that you got to worry about.
Learn how to fix the garage, learn how to fix the washing machine, learn how to fix everything.
You got to cut the lawn. Hey, check the roof. Hey, you might have Okay, so.
Buy a ladder.
Buy a ladder.
A ladder, a drill, a hammer. The most important tool that I found.
Box cutter.
Box cutter.
Box cutter.
Buy a dozen of
box
those.
Cutter, yeah.
Put them everywhere.
Yeah, put them everywhere. So there's something called an impound account. When you closed your loan, they guessed. They did an educated guess, but they guessed at your property taxes. They guessed. But once they closed your loan, there was a reassessment done on your property. So the guess was as close as they could get without the county assessor going out and assessing your property. And you bought insurance. And you impounded the first year of insurance. So inside of that impound account, when you closed, there was guesswork on the property taxes and the insurance, usually pretty good, but if you change it, it could be a problem. Now, what's going to happen about 1 year from now, or a little over a year, between a year and a half, you're going to get a notice from the county that says you are either paid too much into your escrow account or you didn't pay enough. And they're going to give you a way to deal with it. And sometimes it can be very costly. We have a client right now who just got a bill for how much?
5 G's?
$5,000. Got a bill for $5,000. Why did that bill come in?
Two things. One, the property was reassessed by the county. Mm-hmm. So the county said, you know what? We want more money. What can we do? and they went after the property values, which means not just her, but the neighborhood probably got reassessed, and now she pays more in taxes. And then second is insurance is an MFer right now. So without her knowing, she probably got letters, she probably got emails because they play that game. We told you, but they doubled the cost of her homeowner's insurance. Doubled. So it went from like $1,100 to $2,200.
What?
And what did that affect? Impound account.
Impound account. So then you get a notice, and they're like, and then we get this call. Hey, I heard that my mortgage was never going to go up. My mortgage was never going to go up. Never going to go up. This is a contract. It's 30-year fixed mortgage. And I say, you are correct. The 30-year fixed mortgage has not gone up at all. It's being paid by the contract. But the part that's impounded into that payment is property taxes and insurance, and those did go up. By the way, it goes up for everybody. Everybody. Yep.
Jada the Quiet Professional, or Professor, one of the two.
Yep.
What are some ways to take over my parents' house as an investment without it being gifted?
Okay, so Jada, it depends on, are you taking it over because they're passing on and you want to take it, or are you taking it over because you're just going to now be the new owner and you don't want them to be the owner? That's the big question. Because we recommend, we're not attorneys, but we recommend living trust. Living trust will keep the property tax basis high, and the owner of the trust is the owner of the property. And then the trust gets put into the property, but it has to be a living trust. It can't be a family trust, can't be a corporation. You have to check with your attorney. But the reason is the living trust rides the social security number of the trustor, the grantor, the creator. It rides the social security number, and because of that, there's no stepped up tax basis. However, if you transfer it to a family trust or any other type of trust that actually has an EIN number, well then, two things happen. One, there's a reassessment of value, and there's something called a due on sale clause, and the bank may want all of their money. So, very difficult situation. You should contact your attorney. We recommend living trust in the event that somebody's saying, hey, I want this to go to my kids. Cool. I recommend you put a living trust, hire the right attorney, put a living trust. As soon as you pass, the new value will come here instead of the stepped up basis value.
She actually said me to be the owner and take over the mortgage.
Oh, take over the mortgage. That's different. Yeah, that's a whole different game right there. Yeah. If you're taking over the mortgage and she still lives there, or you're paying for it. If you're buying the house, that's a different situation. Or if you're assuming the loan and they're giving you the house through gift of equity, you would talk to your servicer. You call the person that you pay the money to, and you say, hey, listen, I would like to assume this mortgage and take over. Can that happen? Yes, if the servicer allows it and the investor allows it, then you may, but you'll have to go through full underwriting. They're going to have to go through, and this is a industry that's just new in the banks because a lot of people are assuming mortgages. You have to go through underwriting. It's not fast. You do not have an LO on your side because the mortgage already exists. There's no origination of a mortgage.
Yeah. Sandra Ursino. In Arizona, I hear rumors of shortage of available homes for sale. Is this somewhat true?
Shonda, I got good news, bad news. The good news is, yeah, it's true. The bad news is, that's all across the country. We don't have enough houses to keep up with the people across the country. And what's making it far worse, is that the big hedge funds are stepping in and buying up houses, and they have no emotions in this situation. They don't care. They just buy it up and they put it into a portfolio, and that makes less houses available for the people trying to buy a house, which means houses are expensive and it's hard to get them.
Yep. Supply and demand, y'all. Supply and demand. Rob, VA loan here. Should I rent townhome? Oh, we already answered that.
Yeah, we did.
Devin, thank you for the love. Jariah, thank you for the
Devin.
love.
Appreciate you, Jariah.
Margaret Barron, I have a question. My husband using his VA, so do we have to pay closing cost fees as a first-time homeowner?
Okay, Margaret, bad news, maybe good news, but bad news. Here's what it is. The VA covers the down payment. They allow zero down. They do not cover closing costs. They do not.
What are closing costs?
The VA, what? What are closing costs? Closing costs, that's a good question. I'm glad you asked.
Thank you.
Okay, so there's a title company that's going to ensure that there's a clean chain of title, that nobody is any mechanics liens on this, that there's nothing, that there's not a nuclear spill in the backyard. There's a clean bill of title. Dude, you have to stop me there.
I'm going to get a third eye.
I know. So there's a title company, and they'll put out actually title insurance. Guess what that is? You got to pay those people. They're not free.
Did you say
they're
have
not,
to stop you?
They're not free. What's that?
Did you say you have to stop
You have to stop me for the nuclear stuff. So somebody stop me. So that title company is going to charge you some money, okay? Anywhere from, call it $500 to $3,000, somewhere in that range, whatever. Okay, wait a minute. There's an escrow company. What's the escrow company? The escrow company is going to ensure that the seller does what they're supposed to do, the buyer does what they're supposed to do, the lender does what they're supposed to do, the termite company, everybody does what they're supposed to do. You think they're going to do it for free? No. So there's an escrow charge. Dang. So there's a title charge, an escrow charge. There's a notary who right now is babysitting the kids and says, oh God, I got to notarize some documents. Hey, babysitter, can you take over? I got to hop in my car and drive over and get these people's thumbprint and then send it to the state to let them know this is a real signature. You think that person does it for free? Of course not. Okay, now the property taxes. Hey, those are due twice a year. What? Twice a year. But you may be ahead or behind depending on when you buy the house. And we need to say, hey, Mr. Property Taxes, we need to have enough in the escrow account in order to cover the property tax bill that's coming up on the 15th. You think that's going to be free? Nope. Okay. So the insurance is going to have to cover for it. And when you buy a house, they want 1 year paid in advance.
What?
All loans, 1 year paid in advance.
Huh?
You think that's free? No. Those are on the lump of closing costs. That's what closing costs. Did I miss something major?
No.
Okay.
But how do we solve this?
Okay, so closing costs can be paid for by anybody. They can be paid for by the seller. They can be paid for by the buyer. They can be paid for by the realtor, by the lender, by anybody, but they do have to be paid. The VA does not pay for them. They do not pay for them.
The VA doesn't pay for anything.
Yeah, the VA doesn't pay for anything. As a matter of fact, the VA does do something that's on the side of the borrower, but it's a problem because it looks like it's not on the side of the borrower. They're called VANAs. And VANAs are VA non-allowables. So the buyer is not allowed to pay for anything that would benefit the seller in the event that the deal falls apart. It's the best way to think of VANAs. So like, for instance, hey, there's $100 worth of termite damage. The veteran wants to pay for it. VA says, no, if this falls apart, you benefited the seller. That's a VANA, non-allowable. Non-allowable. VANAs are non-allowable. So people think because they got a VA loan, they're like, hey, I don't have to put anything. No, that's not true. There is a zero down issue or feature in the VA loan. It's an amazing loan, by the way. I love the VA loan, but it does have its hiccups. It does have its hiccups. And on every other loan in the system, you can say, termites, I'm not worried about termites. Let's just waive termite. You can do that on every loan in the system except VA. VA says, no. I'm going to protect my veteran who's going into this house. And in order to do that, I mandate a pest inspection. So probably you said, hey, what time it is? And I taught you how to build the clock, but that's it.
Yeah, there you go. Victor, thank you for the love. Lup. Is it good to buy points to lower the interest?
Lup, maybe. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. I actually had to deal with this yesterday. I have a client. I said, hey, listen, I can get you 6.75%. Yeah, call it 6.75% for $7,000. Was it 6.75? I think so.
I think it was 1.25.
No, that's what he ended up at.
Oh.
So 6.75 for $7,000. And then I can get you 6.125 for $17,000. What? What do you think, Lee? So I said, okay, cool. Here's how much you save every month at $7,000. You save, call it $300 a month. And here's how much you save at $17,000. Call it $450 a month. All right, then I divide that over the cost. And if you buy it, the 6.75, you'll break even at 25 months. And if you buy the 6.125, you'll break even at 32 months. And he said, Lee, I've been watching the state of our economy. I think it's going to be a longer time before we hit that lower interest rate. So I will break even before I refinance in a little over 3 years. I'll take the 6.125 for $17,000. And I sat there and I said, if that's the strategy, I think I agree with that. I said, if it were me, I would probably have taken the 6.75, but I won't argue that it does look like it's going to take longer before we hit and you're better off saving that money because you're going to break even anyway. So, is it wise to buy down points? Sometimes it's a mathematical situation and we have to do your case scenario.
Real Almighty told Margaret, yes, there are programs out there to help you and your realtor can help with costs.
Yeah.
True.
Yep.
Elijah Wood, what's a good loan for buying land and having a house built on it? Isn't Elijah Wood an actor?
Elijah Wood is an actor.
Played Tom Sawyer, didn't he?
I think he was in the Lord of the Rings. That's the one I know. So anyway, what's a good loan? Probably none of them. You can't get an FHA, VA, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. There is something called a one-time construct inside of FHA and VA, but it's a construct that flips to a FHA or a VA. But here's the sad part about land. 50% down minimum. 50% down minimum. A lot of people think, well, I bought me some land, I'll do 3% down. No, you can't do that with land. Can't. 50% down minimum.
Yeah. Karma Stokes, I live in Georgia and own my home in Ohio.
Okay.
Can I qualify for a DSCR in Ohio?
Maybe.
Possibly.
Karma, you're not really the big qualifier on a DSCR. The property is. The property has to do ARV. What is it? It's ARV, right? I think that's the acronym. And here's what it means. I have to be able to say, hey, I'm putting 20% down, so get over that first. So let's just get past that because it just happened. 20% down on DSCR. Just get past that. You know you're not going to get 15% down. Most people are not going to get 15% down. You're going to have to put 20% down. Okay, cool. Then you need to go, all right, so my cost for this loan is going to be $3,000 a month. I need to be able to make 125% of the value of the monthly payment. So 125% is roughly $4,000. It's a little less, but roughly $4,000 a month. So if I am going to pay $3,000 a month for my mortgage on a DSCR, I must be able to rent it for $4,000 a month. And if all of these things work, yeah, probably yeah.
Nice.
The next thing I got to do is check your FICO score.
Sweet. Jariah, thank you for the love. Principal, my uncle and my brother bought a house together. Can one house... Wow. That's a 400% increase.
I know it is.
Bought a house together. Can one sell the house without the other signing? What? God, can we all just get along?
Can we all just get along? Okay, my uncle and my brother bought a house together. Can one sell the house without the other signing?
Oh, back down.
Yeah. Back down? Is it? We just bam like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, oh, they see us.
Yeah, God, they didn't even know. You can't tell I did that. So, no. Just real simple, no. No. One cannot, if the person's on the deed and on the loan, you will need all parties involved to sell that house. You can't just go, oh yeah, I'll sell it, I'll show you. Can't do it. Can't do it. Can't do it. There's legal situations.
Mm-hmm. Margaret Barron, El Paso, Texas. Do you help?
Oh, yes. I love doing loans in Texas. Love doing loans in Texas. Love them.
Loves them. Amanda Sierra, how much does a down payment assistance program help with? The whole thing, or is it just a certain amount?
Depends on the down payment assistance program. So I'll give you an example. I have one down payment assistance program that will cover 3%. FHA is 3.5%. Guess what you got to come up with? 0.5%. I have another program that will cover 6%. Guess how much down payment is? 3.5%. So now you got 2.5% left for closing costs. Does it always cover closing costs? Not all of them, so you might have to come in with a little bit. But if you're looking at these things, your FICO's got to be really good. Like, a lot of people come in like, hey, I have 581. Can I get a down payment assistance program? No. I have a 640. Just barely, maybe. If you got a 720, 750, 800 FICO, down payment assistance program all day long. But you can't come in with shitty, or you call it crap credit. You can't come in with crap credit and go, hey, I haven't been paying things on time for the last 10 years. Can you please give me some money so I can buy a house? Not happening.
Not happening. California Dreaming, thank you for the love. You ready to hit it, dude?
Yeah, you know what? We appreciate all of you guys. Chris and Glee, we are out. We've been Chris and Lee.
And Lee.
We're out. Damn, I'm stepping on
I'm
myself.
Chris and Glee.